till I reach the top somehow.
My Straight Talk family, when you hear that theme song, by now you know it's time for me to say goodnight to the entire Straight Talk family, all my Straight Talk family in St. Kitts and Nevis and throughout the entire Caribbean region. I say welcome all to Straight Talk, wherever you are in the world, because we are on the World Wide Web. And I like to greet my Kittitian and Nevision diaspora, wherever you are. There's some of you are in Africa. There are some of you in Asia. There are some of you in Europe. And there are a whole lot of you all over North America. So I'm at liberty to say good night. I can say good morning and I will say good afternoon, because one of such greetings will be applicable to the region in which you now find yourselves. And we thank those who share the link, and we encourage you to continue sharing the link. And when you do that, we do have first-timers, and in particular for the first-timers, I wish to inform you that Straight Talk is a public service program that facilitates and promotes free expression on all issues of national interest, be they legal, be they environmental, be they technological, social, economic, and or political issues. On Straight Talk, we do have a forum to express yourselves freely. Let us in the process continue to try to regain our status as a country, as a federation, as one of the freest countries, if not the freest country in the world. And I know that's a Himalayan task, especially with the leadership we now have in this country. But let's try, my Straight Dog family. We all will try. And on this program, we try to also raise the level of national consciousness. We try to raise the level of national discourse by alerting our people to their rights, to their responsibilities, and certainly to their obligations. My name is Ian Patches Liebert, and I thank Almighty God for blessing me with another opportunity to join you in conversation on yet another occasion. And I always remind you, my Straight Dog family, that as your host, I pledge to remain an untiring advocate of truthfulness. As I'm always reminded of the words of this popular hymn, which goes like this: we are called to be God's prophets, speaking for the truth and right, standing firm for godly justice, bringing evil things to the light. So absolutely nothing is watered down here on Straight Talk, whether by omission or by exaggeration. We don't attempt to use any schemes to make this program more interesting. We tell it like it is. Because Straight Talk is not about sensationalism or creating excitement, especially at the expense of accuracy, especially at the expense of truth. Because I consider it my bounden duty to always present the plain truth. I like to call it the unvarnished truth, especially when it comes to governance in St. Kitts and Nevis. Through this program, we are joined together with people across our federation and in the diaspora all around the world. Some we know very well, and some we have met, and others we do not know, and many we will never meet. And some of us will agree with the positions of truth that are advanced on Straight Talk, and some will obviously disagree because we are a different people, so we entertain diverse views. And that's fine. But what will disappoint me, my Straight Dog family, what will sadden me is if we start to become disagreeable. So let us thank Almighty God nonetheless for helping us to understand how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. Let us hope and pray for the day when we will all sing his praise together. So welcome again, my people, and thanks for those who share the link. Again, you bring first-timers. Please continue to do so. Some tell me that they do not always get the link, and I do apologize for that. But you can also subscribe to the YouTube or Facebook channels at no cost whatsoever. But you will get an alert once you subscribe. So to the first-timers, I must also inform you that Straight Talk is a participative program. By that I mean we include your calls and your emails. And if you're so minded to call, the numbers are 663-6672 or 646-829-6672. Or there are those who like what I call it the cloak of anonymity. By that I mean, they are afraid that their voices will be heard. They want to, as I say, hide behind the keyboard and express themselves. And once they're respectful, we accommodate that by our email platform, and the address is straighttalkpatches@gmail.com. That's STRAIGHTTALKPATCHES, and that's one word, at gmail.com. I always welcome my young brigade. There's some who want to be called. There are others, they don't want to be named, but we understand. And I met a young lady, I think it was on Friday. I don't know if you're still here in St. Kitts, but if you are, feel free to contact me as well. A young lady from Toronto, she told me about connecting. And it's always good when I meet these people. For the young brigade, Tristan, hope you continue to remind your mom. It's Monday. Yes, it's Monday night. Every Monday and Thursday, you remind your mom, Shema, how are you? Trust that school is going well. Kevin, Hanley over there in Nevis. But hail all the special people. I haven't touched North Carolina for a while. Yes, your family always tell me I need to hail you all there. Never met you, but I know we are connected via this medium. And of course, there's a special lady in St. Louis who I must call. I promise that I will have her as a guest on the program. I promised that so long ago, but it just may be sooner rather than later. And my Straight Talk family, in terms of obituaries, we learned of the passing of Dr. Carissa Etienne. That's Dominican-born Dr. Carissa Etienne, who was well respected in the public health sector, a public health expert in her own right, well respected in the Caribbean and the world all over. And we learned of her sudden passing. According to reports, she died during the early hours of Friday morning. And in the Caribbean, she spearheaded PAHO's efforts to help countries adapt and respond to ever-increasing climate-related disasters, including hurricanes and floods. But her leadership was critical in enabling the region to prepare for and mitigate the worst effects of the pandemic during the second half of her tenure. Remember that pandemic we never saw in a century, 100 years. So we extend condolences to her family and all those who have lost loved ones at this time. We extend condolences to them. I met a lady in church yesterday, and I did extend condolences to her as well. Her mom passed, I think she told me a few weeks ago. Now, I've titled my thesis for tonight, A Bridge Linking St. Kitts and Nevis. Must be a first priority for our sustainable island state. And we will discuss this topic after looking at some observations in review. And for first timers as well, the observations in review form an integral part of our program. Then I will include your calls and your emails to allow your full participation. But Observations in Review is the time when we highlight the current issues and do some reflection. We may then ask a few questions such as what was accomplished, how has it helped others, and what has changed since, and what can be expected next, what new we have learned as a people. And our first observation in Review, my Straight Dog family, relates to the COP28 St. Kitts Nevis Pavilion, which was launched in Dubai on Saturday, last Saturday, the 2nd. But I have never seen a bunch of politicians in government so naive, and perhaps that is why people are losing confidence in this Jew Labor administration. Every day, the rain falls or the sun shines. People are losing confidence in this administration. Everybody knows, for example, that government is continuous. Yet for 16 long months, Jew, led by his soca engineer, Congress Maynard, delayed the implementation of a project, all because it was started under Team Unity. In fact, I was the Minister of Public Infrastructure and Energy at the time, who took the relevant submission to the cabinet. And you know, even though the senior minister and former long-standing Prime Minister, Dr. Denzel Llewellyn Douglas, even though Douglas begged them to get going with the project, yes, he said, get going with the project.
Get going with the solar plant we are trying to establish here. That's what we want to do. And we want to encourage countries who are friendly to us to assist us in this regard. Last week, I haven't told you yet, I had a call from the ambassador of Germany, who is in Barbados, serving, in Trinidad and Tobago, serving St. Kitts and Nevis, about their support for solar. This is important. So we need to get going with what we're doing. Get it done so that we can have better lives. People over there want to help us.
And my Straight Dog family, even though Dr. Douglas begged them to get going with the solar farm, the PPA was already signed. But instead, this naive bunch of politicians, instead of focusing on improving the lives of our people by reducing the cost of electricity, they have delayed the project. They in fact delayed the project. And now at COP28, they want to claim it. But the whole country knows about the evolution of the solar farm project, which will be one of the largest projects, if not the largest project in the entire Caribbean region, which was launched sometime last year, my Straight Dog family.
The largest solar energy project in the Eastern Caribbean was launched on St. Kitts, with Swiss company Leclanche investing millions of dollars to construct and operate the power plant. Brian Urban, an executive vice president with Leclanche, describes the investors' intent at the groundbreaking ceremony.
We're going to install 35 megawatts of solar panels in this Basse-Terre Valley. It's important that we're able to utilize that power to not only provide power during the day and reach the peak needs for the St. Kitts, but also we will store some of that power in a battery. So the advantages that we're going to bring to the island here is that with the solar, which will produce a significant amount of the energy for the island, somewhere between 30 and 35%, along with the battery, which allows us to basically create a base load capacity and use that power into the evening and even overnight as necessary.
The produced electricity will be integrated into Skellex power grid under a flat rate 20-year power purchase agreement. Glenn Barrett, SKN Newsline.
Well, that was then my Straight Talk family. But no, this bunch of naive politicians have gone on the international stage to lie about introducing the largest solar farm in the Caribbean. This naive, incompetent administration, as I said, delayed the unavoidable, the inevitable for 16 months, 1 year and 4 months, while poor people continued to suffer from this high electricity costs, yet they talk about they subsidize it. It's been subsidized long before the time of this administration. It is the same Team Unity project, and all the so-called engineer Congress amended is the payback period, what we call the amortization period, from 20 to 25 years. The capital cost is still US $80 million, still the same. There's no local private sector investment in the project. Another lie, my Straight Talk family. But even though they may try to come back and say they increase the years or the amortization period, even if it goes down by a cent, remember, the longer the period, the higher the interest rate. But they're not transparent, but at some time we will find out exactly what is the exact disposition in terms of the amendment that they spoke to. My second observation, my Straight Talk family, I really thought that as a federation, we had passed this stage whereby in Nevis, the Nevis Island administration flies 2 flags. Do you believe that, my Straight Talk family? The Nevis Island administration flies 2 flags. The federal flag, which is the official flag of St. Kitts Nevis, and a flag, I am told, is a flag of Nevis, my Straight Talk family. And this is just an observation, my Straight Talk family. And I asked the question, why? Why 2 flags in Nevis? Well, that's just a question for you to ponder on, my Straight Talk family. Because you know, when we have that snake over there in Nevis, we can expect anything. And our third observation, Straight Talk, or forces your host of Straight Talk to bring to the attention of the Minister of Tourism once again, the deplorable state of the toilets at Pelican Mall, which are situated downstairs. These toilets are situated downstairs, the office of the minister, and right next to the Tourism Authority and the Minister of Tourism's office. My Straight Talk family, last week I witnessed that what looked like cruise passengers entering the bathrooms, but they came out just as quickly as they entered. And this piqued my curiosity. So I looked inside and was totally embarrassed to see this. I brought this to the attention of the minister months ago, even before the tourism season was officially launched. So Straight Talk appeals once again to Minister Marshall. Fix the toilets, good lady, as this image cannot be good for the brand of tourism that you talk so much about. Fix the toilets, Marshall. Fix them. In my observation, I started the revitalization of the ferry and West Bus Line terminals. And some of us would recall what we did down there at the ferry terminal, where we constructed a brand new ferry terminal for passengers traversing between St. Kitts and Nevis, that they can wait in luxury in a well air-conditioned environment. Before that, you remember how the vagrants used to be on those benches and mingle with the passengers. And we have changed that. I have changed that, my Straight Talk family. And I'm happy to see the terminal still going strong. My Straight Talk family, someone said to me, quite strange, is that I built the terminal, but I can't enter. And I had to laugh. But I always prepared for those situations. My good friend who raised that as well. And as part of the revitalization of the area, we also constructed a modern West Bus Line terminal. Modern terminal, my Straight Talk family. And every time I see how the West Bus Line terminal operates, my heart bleeds for the East Bus Line terminal. Because as some drivers there just didn't want to listen. But that's for another occasion. But what stood between the rehabilitation of the entire area was those sardine can booths or bars, I call them, that were constructed by or constructed under the failed Minister of Tourism, who Denzel Douglas eventually replaced with a more forward-thinking minister, Ricky Skerritt. Remember, this minister built what I call these sardine can bars, constructed under this Minister of Tourism, who was fired by Douglas, or, well, let me put that right, who was relocated, if I can use that word, to another ministry. He went to the Ministry of National Security, and Ricky Skerritt took over, much to his disgust. But Douglas obviously knew what was best for the country. But I therefore appeal to the Minister of Tourism, the current Minister of Tourism, Marsha Henderson, to demolish those sardine can booths or bars and revitalize the area with modern, aesthetically pleasing enterprises with a structural integrity that will easily blend into the Port Zante facility nearby. Remember, we did what they said we couldn't do. The new cruise pier, my Straight Talk family, is just a stone throw away from those sardine can booths or bars there at the ferry terminal or the bus terminal or bus and ferry terminal. My Straight Talk family, I remember that Ricky Skerritt and the Labour government failed to build the second cruise pier, and it took my training and experience in both the private and public sectors to deliver that monument that will forever stand out in the history of our tourism development. And come January 24, my Straight Dog family, or come January 27 to be exact, 2024, the world's largest cruise ship, the Icon of the Seas, which according to the online journal, my Straight Dog family, according to the online journal, Offshore Journal it's called, according to that journal, it was delivered, the Icon of the Seas was delivered last Tuesday. It was delivered last Tuesday, the 28th of November. It was constructed at the Finnish shipyard, and the builder, Meyer Tuku, has delivered the Icon of the Seas, which is the largest and most advanced cruise ship to date. It was delivered last week, Tuesday, to the US-based cruise company, Royal Caribbean International, my Straight Dog family. This cruise ship is 365 meters in length overall, with a gross tonnage of 248,655 tons. And this ship can accommodate up to 7,000 passengers, my Straight Dog family. The ship can accommodate up to 7,600 passengers, to be exact, and has a crew of 2,350 crew members. So all told, that's just about 10,000 souls on board. And the Icon of the Seas will berth alongside our second cruise pier in St. Kitts. And hear this, one of the only 3 Caribbean destinations that can facilitate this monster of what I call a floating hotel with 20 decks. Just imagine a high-rise, my Straight Dog family. Just imagine a high-rise building with 20 floors. That gives you an idea of the size of the Icon of the Seas, which will come alongside our berth come January 27, 2024, my Straight Dog family. And that, I can tell you, must be an achievement for this destination and for the Team Unity administration, my Straight Dog family. And here's the itinerary. If you doubt me, my Straight Dog family, there is the itinerary of the Icon of the Seas. And the inaugural sailing will be on January 27. And they are doing what is called an Eastern and a Western Caribbean sailing. And on the Eastern Caribbean sailing, it would call at its island Coco Bay, Bastia, St. Kitts, Nevis, in St. Thomas at Charlotte Mali, and at the island, my Straight Dog family. So, of all the ports in the Caribbean, we must be proud to say that this monster of a ship will call at St. Kitts. The other 2 destinations of the 3 that can accommodate it are St. Martin and St. Thomas. Phillipsburg, St. Martin, and in Charlotte, Tamale in St. Thomas. And you know, when I listen to the underachievers in the present Jew administration, they would like us to believe that the Team Unity administration did nothing in 7 years. Well, I was there, my Straight Dog family, for 5 of those 7 years. Yes, I was there for 5 of those 7 years. And I can tell you that I am humbled to be the servant that led the commencement and completion of this legacy tourism-related project. Apart from the Jew Labour Party, that pier has been given the highest praise by every cruise ship captain in the business. This captain said this, and he speaks for all the captains, I'm sure.
It is very nice. The new pier is very wide, and it is much better actually than the previous one. And it's a very nice construction. And for us, from the marine side of you, you have enough fenders, enough bollards, nice and safe, with much better angle against the wind also. So congratulations, this is amazing.
Yes, my Straight Dog family, amazing. But lest we forget, Ricky Skerritt and the Labour Party failed to deliver the project after Denzel Douglas took a resolution to Parliament. Yes, Denzel Douglas took this resolution to the Parliament.
Mr. Speaker, this resolution is seeking the support of this Honourable House with regard to the Air and Seaports Authority, specifically to finance the Cruise Port Development Limited for a new pier at Port Zante. Mr. Speaker, it says, and I want to make it absolutely clear that it is understood, now be it resolved, therefore, that the National Assembly of St. Christopher and Nevis hereby authorizes the Minister of Finance to guarantee the obligations of the St. Christopher Air and Seaports Authority to Cruise Port Development Limited, the company that is doing development of the cruise pier, for a new pier and enhancement work at Port Zante for sums not exceeding 32 million United States dollars. 32 million United States dollars. And we are seeking approval of the Assembly today to pursue work and complete this work on time for next year tourism season.
So, in accordance with the Finance Administration Act, then Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, Dr. Douglas, tabled that resolution in the Parliament, which approved the said resolution. So all Ricky Skerritt had to do was to finalize the agreement with Cashman. And what was the details of the agreement, my Straight Dog family?
The essence of the agreement is that Cashman Incorporated will establish in St. Kitts and Nevis a company called Cruise Port Development Limited that will construct the new pier. The construction cost of the pier and upland works will be in the region of US 31 million. Cruise Port Development Limited will be responsible for raising all of the financing required to construct the pier. SCASPA will not be responsible for financing any portion of this amount. SCASPA will obtain the riparian and seabed rights from the Urban Development Corporation for the area where the pier will be built and grant a 30-year lease to Cruise Port Development Limited to construct the pier. SCASPA will have no financial obligation with respect to the construction of the new pier other than to collect head taxes from passengers, deposit these amounts in accounts, and payment will be made to both the developer and SCASPA in accordance with the revenue sharing arrangement.
Well, my Straight Dog family, Ricky Skerritt organized a breakfast signing of this agreement. Breakfast was served, we are told, But as the invited guests patiently waited, Ricky Skerritt shocked everyone with this announcement.
This is a project that has been undergoing significant discussion and negotiation for a very long time, for several months, and a certain timetable had been set, which included a signing for today. As I speak right now, the parties are upstairs, still going through some of the legal shenanigans. That is how lawyers work. None of us in here can control that, and unfortunately, there have been significant delays this morning in terms of fine-tuning and making sure that everybody's comfortable. I cannot guarantee that those experts in the law will all come to the same page at the same time by the time we finish this breakfast. I just wanted to alert you that the fact that the Prime Minister is here, the fact that I am here, the fact that all of you are here is a very positive development. And even if the signatures do not get put on the actual agreement this morning, nothing will stop this project from going forward.
Well, contrary to what Ricky Skerritt advised, nothing stopped the barges with all the marine equipment from sailing out of the port of Basseterre the following morning. But as it is said, a bad wind never blows. As today, I am humbled to have been the one to drive this development to a successful completion. It is even more humbling to learn, as I said earlier, that St. Kitts and Nevis is one of the only 3 Caribbean ports that can accommodate this Royal Caribbean cruise ship. Imagine, as I said, tall as a 20-story building. Finally, my Straight Talk family, in terms of observations, a lot of people have messaged me and wanted to draw my attention to an online media interview with the former Deputy Prime Minister. Frankly, I was not interested because what Sean did or did not do to cause the demise of tea immunity really does not matter at this time, because it does not address the bread and butter issues that we as a people have grappled with daily under this terrible administration. I somehow convinced myself to listen. And this is part of what I heard my Straight Talk family.
In 2020, Sean Richards was offered the Prime Ministership of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Sean Richards took a decision that is not the agreement that we have had in these.
Who offered you the Prime Ministership of St. Kitts and Nevis?
I was offered the Prime Ministership of St. Kitts and Nevis by persons both within CCM and persons within PAP. If in retrospect, in 2020, should you have taken the Prime Ministership? Knowing what I know now, yes, I would have done it. You had been out campaigning, you said to the electorate that, look, the intention is for this person to serve as Prime Minister. And then how do you go back the very next day after the election and you say something totally different to the electorate? And that is a question that I had to ask myself. However, if in terms of yourself and some information that you had then, I perhaps would have made a different decision. But as I said, I'm at peace.
My Straight Talk family, I can tell you that for 5 years in that cabinet, Sean Richards never spoke with the snake. So I asked myself, why this belated pronouncement? When even just a few months before the 2020 elections, the snake Brantley said this about Harris. Just about 2 months
Dr. Harris, election. Congratulations, sir, on 5 years as a brilliant Prime Minister and steward of this country. The successes that we've had could not have been possible without you and your support, without the grace of God and His support. And I would ask that we continue in that vein to stay steadfast, on course. We are on the right track with the right leadership to take this country forward and upwards.
And my Straight Talk family, we asked the question, who should we believe? Sean Richards, Lindsey Grant, Jonell Powell, or the snake? Because the latter two, although it does not really matter, but just for completeness, Lindsey Grant and Jonell Powell, remember, issued this press release. They issued this press release days after the June 5th elections. And it read, as you can glean from the content, Lindsey Grant and Jonell Powell denies baseless rumors. It has come to our attention that certain detractors who are upset about the big team unity win continue to spread baseless rumors about our loyalty or otherwise to the team. We wish to make it perfectly clear, it continues, that our campaign was run as part of Team Unity with a view to having the Honorable Dr. Timothy Harris as our Prime Minister and our PAM party leader, the Honorable Sean Richards, as our Deputy Prime Minister. Our team was very successful in obtaining 9 of the 11 seats in Parliament, which appears to have knocked the wind out of the sails of our opponents. As a result, they have resorted to their next step to try to destabilize our unity. Please do not allow them to do this. We wish to assure our supporters and the country as a whole that we fully support Team Unity and its leadership and look forward to continued excellent relations that will assist us in building a stronger, safer St. Kitts and Nevis. As this time, we also wish to pledge our support to our colleague Ian Patches Liber in his quest to regain his seat and wish him every success. Mr. Prime Minister and Deputy Prime Minister, let us now move forward, putting the detractors behind us and continue to deliver the best for our country through our various portfolios. And this release was signed by Lindsey Grant and Jonell Powell on Thursday, the 11th day of June, 2020. All we can say, my Straight Talk family, is wow. Team Unity lasted longer than it should have lasted, as Timothy Harris had to deal with snakes that came from both sides of the narrows. That's all we can say, my Straight Talk family. But whatever was pronounced yesterday is of no moment at this time, my Straight Talk family. We are concerned about the poor people who are not getting their pap. We are concerned about the high crime rate that's going up and up, and so many other bread and butter issues. But those are my observations in review tonight, my Straight Talk family. And I move right into my thesis. As mentioned earlier, is titled A Bridge Linking St. Kitts Nevis, First Priority for Sustainable Island State. My people, think about it. There is currently one mode of travel between St. Kitts and Nevis. Believe it or not, that is by boat. But keep hope alive. If you are a billionaire like Patrick Drahi or his wealthy friends, you may soon be able to fly by plane, my Straight Talk family. Just keep hope alive, my Straight Talk family. This is a possibility, because as far as as we understand from the snake in Nevis, the runway is too short.
You know, Nevis has a substantial number of very wealthy people who have homes here, many of whom own private jets. They would like to fly directly into Nevis, get in their vehicle and go home. Instead of that, they're forced to fly into St. Kitts because of the inadequacy of the runway in particular.
And my Straight Talk family, and I say soon, because Mark Brantley or Alexis Jeffers are prepared to take away lands from the visions to accommodate these rich people. But truth be told, politicians in St. Kitts and Nevis for over a century have been nothing else but short-sighted, myopic. Nevis, remember, was forcibly joined with St. Kitts in 1882. I would have heard me mention that before. Then came the Christina disaster almost 8 decades after. And to many, it was time for Nevis to go. Yes, the Nevis Reformation Party, the NRP, was born out of that disaster in 1970. And from there onwards, secession was the cry for those leaders in Nevis. Ironically, it was the Concerned Citizens Movement administration that triggered the referendum on secession in 1998. But it failed. But I have not found the documentation, but was reliably informed that C.A. Paul Southwell first raised the idea of building a bridge to Nevis. But politicians across the Narrows said, no way, Paul, no way. Caleb, as the Raya Paul Southwell, wanted to build a bridge, but politicians in Nevis said, no way, Paul. To these politicians, the government ferry was the best link to both islands, and insisted that the vessel overnighted at the pier in Nevis. Betcher at one time sent his soldiers to guard that boat at night. Simmons also expressed the sentiment of building a bridge between St. Kitts and Nevis. But many viewed his proposition as a political stunt and never took Simmons seriously. How could anyone take Simmons seriously, someone said, when he gave Nevis 113 in our Constitution out of pure political expediency? Political expediency, because Ronald Webster led the Anguilla Revolt in 1967, and Simeon Daniel after 1970 wanted to secede as well. Not by the gun like Webster, but by the ballot. Now Nevis has a premier who is bad, is terrible for democracy. No leader of the opposition in the Nevis Island Assembly. And he is not playing his role as leader of His Majesty's loyal opposition in the federal parliament. Someone needs to preserve the historical ties that binds St. Kitts and Nevis together as a federation and to the entire Caribbean community. So let our second priority be the removal of the 113 clause. Then, my Straight Dog family, and only then, we can laud it as a successful step towards realizing public trust and a real democracy between our two islands, my Straight Dog family. And thus, we'll have what I call the constitutional permanence required to establish a sustainable island state, my Straight Dog family. And those of us know the 113 clause, I'm sure, very well. And it deals with the separation of Nevis from St. Christopher. And the 113 clause says the Nevis Island legislators may provide that the island of Nevis shall cease to be federated with the island of St. Christopher, and accordingly that this constitution shall no longer have effect in the island of Nevis. That's what it says in a nutshell. But my straight dog family, I won't read the entire one, but refer to your constitution and section 113. But hear this. The 6 Labour votes on the government benches and the 3 CCM votes on the opposition benches is all that is needed to amend the supreme law of the land, after which there will be no need to fly 2 flags in our federation. I cannot imagine the People's Labour Party, PLP, and the People's Action Movement, PAM, the other 2 in opposition, in good conscience and unity, will vote against constitutional permanence. In this 21st century, we can no longer be captured by politicians. Then they fool us about a government of the people, for the people, and by the people. If that is true, my straight dog family, if that is true, why can't we as a people discuss our international relations? Why should Dr. Drew, without consultation, establish diplomatic relations with Saudi Arabia, tells the nation nothing but just through an announcement, and goes to Saudi Arabia to meet his Muslim friend, where he drinks expensive camel milk, my straight dog family. Yes, he drank expensive camel milk while he is or was in Saudi Arabia. And this is what he posted on his Facebook page. Prince Mohammed bin Salman Al Saud, after a wonderful Saudi dinner and thought-provoking conversation. It is my first time having camel milk, my straight dog family. First time having camel milk. And my straight dog family, camel milk is expensive. Very expensive, we have found out, my straight dog family. Camel milk, I can say to you, is expensive, as I say again. Very, very expensive, my straight dog family. And we would like to suggest, my straight dog family, we would like to suggest that Drew went to Dubai and he, as he said, drank his camel milk. For example, a liter of camel milk costs about 30 times more than a liter of cow's milk. My research told me that. Why so expensive? That's because camels produce far less milk than cows. Demand and supply, no doubt. Moreover, the demand for it is much more than the supply. On average, a camel can produce just about 6 to 7 liters of milk daily, while cows produce about 50 liters, my straight dog family. But Drew goes to Saudi Arabia and drinks his camel milk, but comes to tell his people in St. Kitts to drink bunny instead of carnation. Forwardness.
However, I want to say to our people that we have alternatives. For example, and I would like to point out that a box of Kellogg's, same size, I think it's 21 grams, same size, costs about $21 plus. If you get the sunshine brine, is half of that. It's about $11. So for every product that we are accustomed to, we have an alternative. I can't tell Kellogg's how much to sell this stuff for. And we have sought to decrease freight taxes and so forth in an effort to drop the prices. But if we take away everything, the government will make no money at all. Remember the carnation milk, wherever it is produced, it costs more. So no matter how you import it, you are going to be paying more for carnation milk, for example, because that's an imported item and you're importing the inflation. However, if you choose another brand, for example, Bonnie, or any other brand it is significantly cheaper.
Imagine that, my straight family. But may I submit that the present day, the current day politicians, for example, do not have the courage. They do not have the courage to talk about diplomatic relations with the People's Republic of China, for example, versus diplomatic relations with the Republic of China and Taiwan. Because we have been with the latter for 40 years. Did we ever calculate the benefits that were derived from this or that relationship as Straight Dog family? Now, after 25 years, the largest grant then was US $9 million, or approximately $25 million EC, which the government of the day called the Silver, for construction of the Silver Jubilee Stadium, as was called by the government of the day. And we thank the Republic of China and Taiwan for that. But I don't even know if legal steps were taken to rename it the Kim Collins Stadium. But that's what everybody calls it anyway. A grant of just over 12 million US dollars, or 32 million EC dollars, to construct the Old Road Bay project, which helped us to build resilience in that area, was provided over a 3-year period, is the largest portion of funding received from the Republic of China and Taiwan. Yes, I hear you say that hundreds of students have benefited from free education, but they are not bound to return to the Federation, and most remain in Taiwan. The Agricultural Technical Mission has been here since the inception of our relationship. But what have farmers really benefited from that mission after 40 years? Leaves many of us in an interrogative mood. But how can we evaluate the support we continue to give to the Republic of China and Taiwan versus the support we receive from the 7th or 8th largest economy in Asia, and in the top economy, the top 20 economies in the world, my Straight Dog family? So our geopolitics and or the effects of our politics and our international relations, I submit, need more public discussion. My Straight Dog family, at every United Nations General Assembly, and at every opportunity we get internationally, we include a paragraph in support of the Republic of China in Taiwan, or on Taiwan. Just recently, Dr. Drew said this, my Straight Dog family.
But I also want to take this opportunity to welcome our dear friends from the Republic of China, Taiwan. And that is why we said today that Taiwan should be invited in the room at the United Nations.
But my Straight Dog family, let's be truthful, let's be real. The only thing that matters at the United Nations is Resolution 2758, which went to the United Nations General Assembly since 1971, my straight dog family. 1971. Believe it or not, that's what, 52 years ago, if my mathematics serve me right. This resolution went to the United Nations General Assembly. And what does the UN General Assembly Resolution 2758 say or not say? On the 25th October 1971, the United Nations General Assembly passed Resolution 2758, bracketed 26, which basically stated that the People's Republic of China, beg your pardon, would be the only legitimate government of China recognized by the United Nations. Since then, the People's Republic of China replaced the Republic of China on Taiwan as the sole legitimate government representing China and took a seat as a permanent member of the United Nations Security Council. In the interest of clarity, we cite the resolution below, and it reads, recalling the principles of the Charter of the United Nations, considering the restoration of the lawful rights of the People's Republic of China is essential both for the protection of the Charter of the United Nations and for the cause that the United Nations must serve under the Charter. Recognizing that the representatives of the government of the People's Republic of China are the only lawful representatives of China to the United Nations, and that the People's Republic of China is one of the five permanent members, beg your pardon, of the Security Council, decides to restore all its rights to the People's Republic of China and to recognize the representatives of its government as the only legitimate representatives of China to the United Nations, and to expel forthwith the representatives of Chiang Kai-shek from the place which they unlawfully occupy at the United Nations and in all organizations related to it. That's the resolution, my straight dog family. So we ask the question, why no country is moving such a resolution at UNGA? Is because the unquestionable majority, including the mighty United States of America, supports a one China policy. So this exercise in futility regarding the Republic of China and Taiwan at UNGA ought to be replaced, I submit, by digging deeper into multilateralism. We must take a multilateral approach to developing a diplomatic relationship with the People's Republic of China. The bridge to link St. Kitts and Nevis is for a great cause and will not be met by doubtful politicians like this one, my straight dog family.
You know, some people are talking about building a bridge between St. Kitts and Nevis. I want to say publicly that I have my opposition to that. We built a water taxi pier over there. We have a sea bridge over there at Cades Bay as well. The water taxi pier we're about. And then you have these water taxis that run like Uber, back and forth. Get people across here and back and forth.
My straight dog family, you'll say a bit short-sighted, but that's his view. His colleague Spencer Brand, however, thinks differently. And Brand said this, my straight dog family.
If this bridge were to come to fruition, we perhaps don't necessarily need to build a complete suspension bridge. We have some space between St. Kitts and Nevis, and we have a lot of materials that we can dispose of and shorten the actual suspension of the bridge and put what you call reclaimed or made up island somewhere over there. Can clean up the environment. All of these old derelict vehicles create a landfill, you seal it and you build like one massive roundabout right out there in the sea.
My Straight Talk family, Team Unity had two offers during my time in cabinet. I don't know if they are the same investors that Denzel Douglas spoke about when he recently said this.
We spoke of the landmark project to build a bridge between St. Kitts and Nevis. That vision is still alive. That is being pursued. Already we've had at least two major developers that have an interest in pursuing that particular project.
My Straight Talk family, just for clarification, and just to provide rationale, a switch to the People's Republic of China will get the bridge built tomorrow. And perhaps we are not aware, many of us, that China has already significant trade and investment in the Caribbean. My Straight Talk family, China, while the Caribbean's trade with China has grown at a slower pace than overall trade with the region, it increased from $1 billion in 2002 to $8 billion in 2019, with an estimated $6.1 billion in Chinese exports and $1.9 million in imports. My Straight Talk family, China's trade and economic investment in the Caribbean. China has invested over $10 billion in mainly 6 Caribbean countries between 2005 and 2022. Focus on the tourism, transportation, extractive metals, agriculture, and energy sectors. In Jamaica, it invested $3.16 billion. In Guyana, $3.01 billion. In Trinidad and Tobago, $2.28 billion. Next door, in Antigua and Barbuda, $1 billion. In Cuba, $740 million. And in the Bahamas, to name a few, $350 million. My Straight Talk family. So, a switch, I submit. A switch to the People's Republic of China can be considered. We must not shut down discussion, my Straight Talk family. We must not. Do you know that the People's Republic of China is a major shareholder in the Caribbean Development Bank? How many of us knew that, my Straight Talk family? As a matter of fact, the People's Republic of China is the 3rd largest shareholder in the Caribbean Development Bank, in CDB. We got a grant from the CDB to invest in, a grant loan, I should say, to invest in geothermal. It's China's money as well. China is a member of both the Inter-American Development Bank, IDB, as I said, the CDB, and an observer of the OAS, alongside Italy and Germany. As I said, China is the 3rd largest shareholder at the CDB with 5.6% of overall shares, exponentially higher than the majority of Caribbean countries. The People's Republic of China PRC engagement in the Caribbean has largely focused on investments in infrastructure and developing trade relationships. As of 2022, 10 Caribbean countries have signed up to Belt and Road BRI: Cuba, Jamaica, Dominican Republic, Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, Barbados, Grenada, Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana, and Suriname. My Stray Dog family, there are diminishing ties to Taiwan, as the region contains the largest bulk of Taiwanese diplomatic allies. Today, only St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Kitts and Nevis, Haiti, Belize remain the only Caribbean nations to recognize Taiwan, my Straight Dog family. And those other facts. So we then need a constitutional permanence. And that can simply be done, as I said, by repealing that 113 clause in our Constitution. This bridge between St. Kitts and Nevis was estimated at US $100 million. It can be constructed within the next 4 years, and the Constitution can be amended immediately. Within the 10 years, because geothermal cannot be developed, as the so-called engineers said in 2025, impossible. But within the 10-year period, if at all it is developed, while we wait on geothermal, if it ever comes, we must strive to get back that marquee port status and move cruise ship passengers from the previous high of 1.3 million passengers, to 2 million. Selling a destination of 2 for 1 means if 50% of these arrivals take the bridge to Nevis in 1 year, it means 1 million passengers would have visited Nevis. This will be a major step to developing a sustainable island state, and in keeping with the view of the UN Brundtland Commission, which speaks about sustainability now and protection for the future generations. My Straight Dog family, it really does not take rocket science to understand that the bridge linking St. Kitts and Nevis ought to be our first priority for a sustainable island state. It would expand the Nevis economy by 80%. It would expand the St. Kitts economy by 20% about. But, my Straight Dog family, that's my story tonight, and I am not going to change it. I will open the lines and entertain your calls and your emails. I tarried for some time because it's a topic, maybe somewhat controversial, but it is factual. It is factual. It is factual in relation to the public or the People's Republic of China and its influence in the Caribbean. Should we be left behind? It's a question we may ask. And perhaps, just perhaps, we may be able to accommodate an arrangement if the Chinese government, the PRC, facilitates that, my Straight Dog family. I'm going to open the lines and entertain your calls. I'll entertain your emails. I always like to implore you that when I do so, and I'll do so in a few moments, I anticipate that you will respect others. And of course, to achieve that, you must first respect yourselves. Let us try to be fair to all concerned. Let us try to build goodwill and better friendships. And my Straight Talk family, in saying and doing those things, let us strive to build a kinder, gentler St. Kitts and Nevis. The numbers are 869-663-6672. My Straight Talk family. And or 646-829-6672. My Straight Talk family. I always again implore you to my Straight Talk family, respect others. It's 8:21 as we go to the lines. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Yes.
Mr. Patrick.
Yes, the Bible man. How are you? How are you, sir?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I am fine here.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick.
So.
It's a good thing to give God thanks in all our undertaking, Patrick. Now, in Psalm 37, he said, I was young, and now I'm old, and yet I neither see the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. Mr. Patrick, hear this. When the wicked spread out his like a green Betty, then what happened? He passed away. The word of God says in Psalm 37, you sought him and he could not be found. So, Patrick, I want to encourage somebody tonight who are going through problems, who are going through difficulty. God is on the main line. So listen to me tonight. Put your confidence in God and God alone. There is and I'm saying to you, Miss brother and sister, you got a God who holds the whole universe. And I'm saying that he do it for Jehovah. He do it for the chief evil boys.
Okay.
He do it for the Daniel in the lion den. He can do it for you. So I am saying that God is on the throne.
Okay.
And the word of God said, He'll supply all your need according to His riches in glory.
Okay.
In Christ Jesus. Patrick, He know you. He make you. He know what you're going through.
Yep.
My brother and sister, it is not the word of God said in Psalms. It is good to put the trust in the Lord.
Okay.
And put confidence in princes. Father God, tonight that I'm thanking God for your goodness. And I'm giving you praise today that I could come on the airwaves and encourage somebody to put their confidence in God.
Okay, my brother.
That is, and I'm saying to you that This is the day
Yes.
the Lord had made.
Let's just rejoice.
We rejoice today.
Okay.
I did have a pleasant night.
Have a pleasant night as well. The Bible man, known well for his scriptural interventions. I go back to the lines. Caller, I want to thank you for holding your line. Hello, caller.
Mr. Straight Up, good evening.
How are you, my brother?
What can I say so far? Good is well. Man, I just celebrate my 63 years of, and I tell you what a 63 years it was. Yesterday in church, man, they make me cry. I mean, these people honor me yesterday, and I'm saying, you mean I'm doing so much? I thought that I wasn't doing nothing, but then when you get to receive something, it tells you that you're doing well.
Yes. I wish you 63
So
more.
I want to give God thanks, and I want to thank the Bible man for his contribution every time for what he's doing. My straight up family, we got to stand up strong. My brother, I don't know what's going on in St. Kitts. It comes like that this bridge will never build. But you know what happened to our comrade there? He sees something else that he's looking at, and he's not looking at the money line. Because St. Kitts Bridge will pay for itself.
Yes.
You know, just to come on the 90. You know what happened some months ago there, when the 95, this guy lose control of his truck, and he burned down a bridge. He go underneath the bridge and burned the thing down. You know what happened in America, in Philadelphia? That thing stopped run. Nobody could get across in 95. Just to go to underneath. Can you imagine if they didn't build tunnel underneath to go from New York to New Jersey? You know what will happen? We would have to take back a class from New Jersey to New York. That little numbers. But man, put themselves together and they build bridge. Just to cross one bridge is $16. $16 just to enter that highway. And when you get on, you have to pay $60. When you come off, you have to pay again. So all you have to do build the bridge and let the bridge pay for itself. That's all.
Certainly.
But nobody hear what he says. That the taxi, that's good enough. It's like Uber. I want to go up on water to go across there. Man, when you go up on the bridge, you see something that you cannot imagine. You say, but look how man structure this thing, no? So that's what it's all about. So good night, Mr. Culture. Take care of yourself. And Mr. Straight Talk, I thank you for what you are doing. You are doing a wonderful job. Just continue to do what you got to do. And my sweet little sister there in St. Louis, take care of yourself. You're going to be there. Just take it easy. Okay. Christmas soon come.
Okay, my brother.
All right, my brother. Be good. See you when I see you.
See you when I see you. Happy belated birthday, my brother.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Take care. Always nice to hear Philadelphia in the house. The lines are open, my Straight Dog family. And, you know, there's at times when the weather gets what we call in colloquial parlance choppy and vessels can't run. I remember some time ago, almost a whole week, there was no connection by boat to Nevis. But all these things we have to take into consideration. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Good night. Good night. And how art thou?
I am peaceful. What about yourself?
I am peaceful. Don't think I don't watch you, and I'm still looking at you. I'm still listening to you. I have a little, I must tell you, must put her on your list as the little soldiers. I hear you just call up some names. You must put my granddaughter, because every Thursday and Monday night she said, Granny, you forget patties. You forget.
What's the name? What's the
You're
name?
laughing.
What?
Rucaster.
Rucaster?
Rucaster. Yeah. Ru. Her first name is Ru. Her last name is Coster.
Oh, Ruth.
Ru, yeah. R-U-E.
Ru. Oh, like a street, La Rue.
Yes. Like the tree, yeah.
Street, yeah. Costa. Okay.
So you must remember how when you're singing, because I hear watching you right now and I'm telling you about her.
Okay.
And she
dancing.
Okay, my dear. Okay, Rue. Good to hear you, and good to hear as well, and to know that things are okay.
She who always remind me.
Okay.
Granny, them for patches.
Okay.
Patches.
Okay. Thanks.
So,
Thank you, Rue.
so how? He said thank you.
Okay.
Okay then.
Okay. Have yourself a good night. Good to hear you.
Yes, I
my
will.
sweet
I will. I'm still here.
Okay. Always good to hear you. Yes, my Street Talk family. It's now 8:30. We're looking at construction of a bridge to Nevis. I know some people, we've been with Republic of China and Taiwan for some 40 years. We have to understand that change is unavoidable. As a matter of fact, Barbados reported just sometime a few days ago, I think it was, that it was sometime, I'm trying to get the exact date, but Prime Minister Mayor Motley got a US $75 million grant from China. $75 million. So I submit, if we just get that alliance with China, I am guaranteeing that we'll have that bridge built tomorrow. I will tell you so. I will tell you that because I can't tell you too much because there are cabinet issues and we do have to be cautious in the things we say. But this message reads, at the last National Assembly, the two real opposition members, Dr. Harris and Sean, were absent, but the three crooks from Nevis were there, parading as opposition members and government supporters at the same time. The government had a field day in passing whatever laws they wanted without any criticism or hindrance, because these three Nevis clowns have completely destroyed the democratic process, completely destroyed the democratic process in the National Assembly. How the hell you can serve two masters at the same time when the Bible categorically states, beg your pardon, it is impossible. Let's go back to the lines. Caller, I want to thank you for holding your line. Hello, caller.
Good night, brother Patches.
Good night, my brother. How are
you? Man, don't forget Betty Blue on the Hill. Anyhow, you got to remember, not everybody have a vision, okay?
Mm-hmm.
There's some people don't have vision, so they just do things because of do things sake. Understand me? So sometimes I do believe and I do pray that unity and you will get back together because so much need to get done. The plan that you had to extend the marine up to Newtown, that would be a great project, more work.
Oh, yes.
You understand me? And the next part to extend the town going back down to the Western Memorial.
True.
St. Kitts is a giant, but if we get the right people to work with us, putting together that have seen themselves. Man, look, St. Kitts, I will come back home and I do the vision, that's what St. Kitts is heading to, right? But some of the guys, they don't have a vision, man. They see they own themselves in the mirror. But I wish you all luck, man. You're doing a good job.
Thank you, my brother.
Bless up.
Bless up. Sounds like St. Thomas in the house there, my Straight Talk family. And hailing up Betty on the hill. Betty on the hill, I can see her smiling. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Good evening, Mr. Leiber.
Good evening, sir. How are thou?
Okay, thank you. I've been listening to your program. The bridge from St. Kitts to Nevis is an engineering possibility. My biggest fear is that most of the people in St. Kitts do not know to drive. They know how to steer a vehicle. No, I would tell you, if you build a bridge from St. Kitts to Nevis, the speed limit on the bridge could be about 40 miles an hour. But you're going to find somebody who needs to do 65 and pass another vehicle. And when that happens, that taxi bus is going to end up at the bottom of the narrows. Because they don't understand that when you're driving everything at a certain speed. We can get up on the vehicle and make it airborne, and a number of things can happen. And so I would be concerned, but I know it's an engineering possibility, and to make it a toll bridge would make all the sense in the world. Just that my people do not drive sensibly when they say open road. That's why they have so many accidents. I've had to sit as a passenger in a bus from just beyond Overwood, Barcia, and the driver was driving as if he was transmitting cash and not human being. And I'm saying, yes, I would love to see a bridge, but on the other side, I don't think the people who drive it are very practical.
Okay. Okay, got you, my brother. Thanks for your input.
All right, that was very good.
Always good to hear you. But there are what we call traffic calming methods that can be used as well. But let's go back to the lines. Caller, I want to thank you for holding. Hello, caller.
Yeah, Patrice. Thank you. Good evening, Patrice.
Good evening, my brother.
It seemed like you make boat there yesterday. Because it's twice now you clap and dropping back down. You're saying after 8.
I'm saying that.
Instead of my boy. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I think I have a US time on my computer. That's my bad.
Good night, my brother. Straight talk. Happy birthday to you, man. Happy birthday. Not name belated, because you're still alive. So good night to you. Good night, Nabu, and good night, Slide Wine, and Alice and Maisie, and all who was calling to your program. That is, I'm not surprised with the things that this Mickey Mouse Sesame Street government people are doing to the Federation. The leader of the country right now, he's wearing wooden spectacles, so he has no vision. None, absolutely none, and he has no plan. Because everything he met in the pipeline to be completed, he back on it, and he changing up everything. And he changing up, and he think he changing up for the better, but he making a mess of the country, and showing the world that he's what to call an ignorant man. All he good for, from the time he went in there, take up 15 person went to New York, was show off, wasting the money. What he say, country is in red with money. When he done, he went somewhere down. I think it was if it's not Dubai, some one of them country down where he and this snake was in the street riding bike, and they taking pictures, showing the people them back home, especially the snake, waving his hand, showing the people that he could ride bike in the street. And then now they gone again, now go drink camel milk. When you telling the people in St. Kitts to buy inferior milk to the carnation and pet milk, and he up there drinking the most expensive milk in the world, camel milk, and boasting upon that. So that is all he can bring back to the country. When he go anywhere, he take pictures and show it back. And when he done, don't forget he went to St. Vincent. And when go take picture in the marijuana field. That is all he doing. But you see, what start wrong got to end wrong. Unless you don't stop in the middle and correct where you start wrong, you're going to end wrong. And you're going to cost more money and more time. And that is what he's doing to this country. That is what that man is doing to us. He don't have no respect, no regard, no people in this country here. What has he bring back here? So long it's about he get calls after election that investors want to come here, but they were waiting until the farm administration go. Well, where are the investors then? Who give him a lot of calls? Okay. That man just walking telling a whole heap of lies in this place. Lies. One of these days, God gonna do his tongue. And this time, every day I'm gonna say so, you know. Every day I'm gonna say so. But the longer we sleep, those who wake up early, they're gonna go with everything. Okay. And when we wake up, nothing gonna be there for us.
Okay.
It is time to get up. Get up early, set your clock earlier than that.
Okay.
And let us do what we have to do. If we have to keep meeting until the meeting build up, then we got enough support. We go and take them out of government house.
Okay.
He need to get out of up here. He and all he cabal them. That's all they're doing, wasting money. That bridge there that you were supposed to build patches. I wonder if he got the, if he see the amount of money that bridge could have bring in the economy. Because every time you go across, you will have to pay a toll. Mm-hmm. And the toll wouldn't be much. The bridge will pay for itself, but you don't want to carry on any project that started under Team Unity or even Dr. Douglas government. Okay. But you see, I like Dr. Douglas and Dr. Douglas. Let's get on with the work. Get on with the solar thing. Douglas is not for them, but anyway, this is the last thing I said. I've been holding back this too long now, and I'm gonna let go tonight. I understand the snake and the one who said he was very slow in his school and he become a doctor. I understand the two of them planning to have a motion of no confidence filed against King Lawyer, but they want nobody know yet until they build up a big crowd. Anyway, Patches, you have a good night.
Have a good night, my dear brother.
Thank you.
Thank you for your intervention. If Sam Kondo do not know the answer to a question with this email when asked, he could simply say, I don't know, rather than give a wrong answer to be laughed at later. His radio host said some people are saying if the double salary is paid, Mark Brantley will be collecting 4 salaries. What's your thought on that? No, Sam shouted. He is not in the cabinet now, so he is not entitled to a double salary, and the biased host don't know any better, seemed satisfied with the dumb answer. However, Patches, the reality is Mark will be getting 5 double salaries instead of 4. And here are the calculations, Patches. He will get a double salary as the parliamentary representative in the National Assembly for Nevis 9, and he will get another salary as the premier and the representative for the parish of St. John's, Nevis 1. That is 4 double salaries. In addition to all of that, he will get a 5th salary for being the official leader of the opposition in the National Assembly, a position he greedily robbed and deprived short up. Therefore, Sam Kondo, stop making yourself a fool on the radio every Friday afternoon, treading in uncharted waters, saying things that you are clueless about. Reads that email. I'll try to dispense of the emails. I'll take your calls in between as well. So you can still call me at 663-6672 and 646-829-6672. We are suggesting that the first priority should be constructing that bridge to Nevis. And as I said, could you imagine, hopefully, once Marsh Henderson does the right thing, our tourism, our cruise ship arrivals can really explode and increase from the 1.3 million passengers we had some years ago. If things get right and the brand is marketed properly, we can get to 2 million passengers, with 50% of those going to Nevis. then that's 1 million passengers, plus the crew. We forgot the crew as well. You know, you drive over to Nevis and everybody gets an opportunity to have 2 for 1, as we said. Mr. Liebert, you recall during the last campaign of the general election, after Mark had deceived and misled Sean to break up team unity. You remember them saying that PAM and CCM had now formed a movement to work together, which will be the real true unity. You also recall, Mr. Liebert, that they retain the services of an unhinged lunatic every morning, my Straight Dog family. They retain the services of a lunatic every morning on radio to castigate and destroy Harris. Harris's good name and character. But they failed because Harris still remained firm as a rock, and today is considered the de facto opposition leader in the House, representing all of us who did not vote for Labour and keeping their feet to the fire. On the other hand, the unhinged lunatic is grumbling, saying that Mark was to ensure that he become the ombudsman instead of the church bishop. Let's go back to the lines. Caller, thank you for holding your line. Hello, caller?
Yes, good night again.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Patches, I know you all got a big ship coming in January. Why you all don't get jammed down like a contract at least, or like not to take care of the white name? He look like somebody, you look like they would take care of he would take care of the problem.
Which problem?
The bathroom problem. We have so much people coming there. Like, you know, in all the ports, then we have somebody there sitting there. Even you go to HA Reese's, they have a little 2-bathroom in a shopping mall, and somebody is always there. Because that's the pride of the business. Nobody wants to go back on the ship to say the Virgin Island bathroom was nasty. You know what I mean? You go to Crown Bay, they have ladies and gentlemen sitting outside. As you go, they make sure you have the place clean. Now we're looking at a major ship is coming. It look very disgusting. So why they don't give somebody like some people are not looking for a job. That would be a job for somebody.
But it first have to be repaired, because you can see it's in terrible shape. There are no sinks. You know, there's a wet floor side in one of the urinals, and it's terrible.
Yeah, man, look at that.
Yes.
So now you got enough preparation now for them until January. You know what I mean, to get this kind of thing. Because it's a good side. Guests come in with this kind of thing. Oh man,
it's terrible. Yeah. Yes, but I'm sure Jam Down will do a wonderful job at anything.
Yeah, give him a job to be a foreman over, make sure everything. One will hire a couple of ladies. You know what I mean? Because they do the same thing here.
Right. Okay, my brother.
Okay, man. Good night.
Thanks for your intervention. Let's go back to the lines. Caller, thank you for holding. Hello, caller.
Good evening, Mr. Liebert.
Good evening, my brother. How about thou?
Oh, I'm not doing too bad for my age. I just came from town. I was there and by the circus in the spirit of Christmas. Very nice indeed. Had a very nice crowd and all the people perform well. I just returned home from there.
Okay. You sang?
That means they don't want the system to work again. If they tell me talk.
Okay, my brother.
Mr. Liebert, for quite a while we have been talking about these bathrooms, and I'm glad somebody you could show the picture now to show what we have been talking about on the talk shows them on a daily basis. And it's quite unfortunate to see that we had a whole 6 months of dull season where these bathrooms could have been repaired. It's a very awful sight to see, and we don't have to wait for the tourist season, because our visitors and friends from other islands and all around the world come here, our returning nationals, and we the local people who pay our taxes should be getting a better looking and usable affair in bathrooms. Yes, we also, Mr. Liebert, we have to blame ourselves also too. We have those bathrooms in those terrible conditions too. But one of the things is that we keep suggesting to the government, do you have people that clean these bathrooms annually? You must have somebody sit, somebody going to check, and maybe go back to the dollar thing, make everybody pay $1 to go in to use them. So that kind of condition, you will have something, turning over to, help fix and help upgrade and keep these bathrooms in, usable and accommodating standard. Another thing, Mr. Leibert, why we carry such a large contingent to Dubai the other day? What was the reason for all these ministers and these other entourage that I understand was up to a total of 1920? What was the basis? What was the interest? What was the business reason? And what was the investor reason why we carry such a large contingent to Dubai just a couple of days ago?
Good question, my brother.
Mr. Leibert, I am sick and fed up of paying my tax dollars because on the labor, contingent went continuously. On the unity, contingent went continuously. On the Jew for 15 months, contingent of people have gone. We have spent at least $2 million, right? If you add up under the three governments. Mr. Leibert, could you show me or explain to me any investment in Thinkit for spending about $2 million of taking ministers and contingent on the three government to Dubai? What have the taxpayers received back from there?
Not even a report. Not even a report.
Not zero, nada.
Okay.
And we don't spend about $2 million. We don't have a bank. We don't have what we would say a factory, whether engineering, industrial, any form of thing. We don't have no businesses. We are a couple of our people have been employed. So why on the three governments now we have done spent at least $2 million carrying people to Dubai and to meet investors, because that is what we've been told. They are meeting investors. They are talking investment. We're on the three governments now is over 17, 19, 20 odd years.
Okay.
And we have not received anything from it.
Got you, my brother. Got you. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for your intervention, and you're so correct. And there are lots of advisors as well in this government. I never seen a government with so many advisors. Mark Brantley, you say they better don't let you talk about watch, shoes, tie, etc. with this email. Mark is now trying to rehash the old Labour propaganda that they had orchestrated against Harris. What is Mark trying to say and do now is immaterial, because the word on the street is that you, Mark, is only talking now because Harris kicked your backside out of the government for wrongdoing, which compromise, stain, blemish, and tarnish your political career. And that is what have you going and full of hate for Harris. You're purporting to be clean, honest, and above board, but you lie. Just be honest and tell the truth about the countless things you have received, and beg from various investors, diplomats, and other dignitaries during your time in government. For all politicians and ministers of government do get gifts with this email. The fresh-faced Calypsonian advisor who was involved in an altercation with Douglas up by Washi Delinquent Boys Institution some years ago should be focusing and singing a song on what he told to police, what Douglas did to him and his camera, when he attempted to photograph Douglas at the said institution, and how many bad words Douglas bust up upon him. That is the calypso I want to hear from Fresh Face, instead of that rubbish he sang showering praises on Dr. Drew and Labour just to sustain his job. You are not genuine Fresh Face, asks Asim Martin, reads this other email. What a public tongue lashing the Premier put on his public civil servants in Nevis, calling them all kind of sordid names: gangsters, drunkards, rum drinkers, lazy, non-performers, and sickly. The Premier, who over the years has garnered more double salaries than any other politician or civil servant, is now saying that Dr. Drew should not pay double salary, and particularly to his own Nevis public servants. Divisions, take note, for Mark has no use for you. Read this email. Good night, Patches. I'm asking you to take some time and investigate the Ministry of Agriculture. Farmers and workers are complaining about the behavior of the Permanent Secretary. He has denied the workers allowances and overtime pay. You would be shocked to see where a paper trail would reveal the stakeholders deserve better. Reads that email. Mr. Patches, for the past month, farmers in the Commandor area, where is that? That is going down Mansion Yard, okay, heading to the sea, have been without water for their animals. Please note this area was especially for pig and poultry farming. These farmers feed their animals water directly from the water supply. Farmers have been in touch with the Agriculture Department and the Water Department trying to get this problem resolved with no assistance whatsoever. Mr. Patches, maybe your platform can do these fly-by ministers to help the farmers. We, the farmers, call upon Minister Samuel Duggins and Minister Conris Maynard to stay on island for a few days and deal with the farming water problem, reads this other email. Patches, look how long Nevis flying their secession flag since Daniel was Premier. The flag is being flown at the Nevis Pier, Government House, the Parliament Building at Alexander Hamilton House, and other important places in Nevis. Well, I probably would have missed it because when I saw these flags, I was a little taken aback. I thought they were moved away. Patches, that so-called host on Freedom FM said today that when the government holding town hall meetings, the people must not ask any other questions than what the government want to talk about. He said anyone asks any other questions, the government should tell them shut up and sit down. The host got to be crazy. Don't he know that these people work for us? We have the right to ask them any question at any town hall meeting. This so-called getting his pockets filled by Dr. Joe, so he don't care about poor people anymore. He always defending this worthless government and calling people dunce and stupid. This guy shouldn't be hosting any talk show. He's rude and disrespectful. Read this email. And let's see. Patches asks the Bible man to pay attention to the topic of the night and give his intervention. The Bible man brings his spiritual side to it. Yes, my Straight Talk family, I've got this one. Patches, the pretty black mamba, you remember, pretty boy behind the mountain, reads this other email. And good night, Patches. The vision for a bridge was highlighted in the early 80s in a submission that I had taken upon myself to make to the new PAM NRP administration. I have in my possession and have attached hereto for your perusal a copy of the rough draft of the submission that I had presented to the Simmons administration in 1981 as part of a comprehensive development plan for St. Kitts and Nevis. That plan included, among other things, the building of a highway through the peninsula, going on to build a bridge across the Narrows, construction of 2 ring main highways around St. Kitts and Nevis respectively, and also the positioning of St. Kitts and Nevis to use its upgraded infrastructure to host the 1992 50th anniversary commemorations, which had been the brainchild of Dr. Simmons himself. I had suggested that we could host the commemorations as a world fair that would have left us a legacy to support museum tourism. The Peninsula Road was built, as we can all attest. You will recall by the time of early 90s, Dr. Simmons declared that he was prepared to move ahead with the bridge. Unfortunately, that idea was not pursued by the successor administration in 1995. The rest is history, and so here we are again. Reads this email. And this other email, perhaps I'll make this my last email for tonight. I want to commend you for your amazing program, and to just say that unless we as a people who rise up and shine up, we will not be able to reach our full potential. It is also very concerning where funding and international relations are concerned, and definitely a bridge between St. Kitts and Nevis is good, but may have some environmental impacts which we may want to look at. We so say that we want to be a sustainable island state, and we also recently got nominated for Best Dive Destination. And so, Mr. Patches, our reef areas may be at risk. Well, if you take your point, certainly if we do any infrastructure development, either in the marine or otherwise, always is a requirement according to the Development Control and Planning Act to do the environmental assessments as well. I share your pride with the icon of the seas coming to the second cruise pier at Port Zante, reads this email. This is the largest cruise ship on the planet and is 5 times the size of the Titanic. Imagine that. Because of your foresight, we have marine infrastructure that other islands don't have. Look at the competitive advantage we now have because of it. On an aside, can you imagine you took more people to COP28 in Dubai than Grenada, Barbados, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Antigua and Dominica combined? This is both madness and weakness. Drew obviously does not have the internal strength to put his foot down and lead with this email. Yes, my Straight Talk family, it's now 2 minutes past the 10 o'clock hour. I perhaps will try if I'm sorry, I didn't realize, I forgot I had this call. Caller, I had you holding. I'm sorry about that. Are you there still?
No problem, Mr. Leiber. Carl drop me again.
I'm sorry about that.
Mr. Leiber.
I'm going to guide you by the rules of brevity because I'm running out of time now.
Yeah. A number of countries in the Caribbean. Dominica has the chairmanship of CARICOM. Only the Prime Minister went to Dubai. Antigua sent a contingent of 7, no government ministers. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine that? Antigua, who is way bigger than us, send a contingent of 7 persons to represent them, no government minister. Dominica, who is way bigger than St. Kitts and Nevis and Antigua, send 1 government minister alone, the Honorable Prime Minister. Right? Mm-hmm. Grenada and them had a smaller contingent than St. Kitts, who is way bigger than us. Right? So the question is, what we had a contingent of 1920 going for, and what reason? And I would love to see what investment they will bring back and have to introduce to us next year and create some jobs for us.
Okay.
Again, Mr. Leiber.
Thank you for your intervention. Let's go back to the lines. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Love and greetings.
Greetings, my brother, my Ras Aya.
Love and joy to you, my brethren. Brother Patrick, blessed night to you. I'm here in the shores of the Nevis Isles, looking over from my angle is looking on the southeast back end. And your statement outlined to your program tonight, I would like to say blessed night to your people who are listening of your social media feed of YouTube and Facebook, as they call Facebook, and we like to say you talk about the bridge.
You're close to your equipment. I got a little feedback. I want the whole world.
Well, I'm here in the good area of the area, somewhere away from the area.
Yes,
now you can hear me properly.
Yes, I want the whole world to hear Ras Aya.
Yes, blessed love. My indication to your statement and your thesis you said tonight, we're learning about things that can bring trouble of the economical stance. And you look at your going of the bridge that you said was what initial status coming from former minister as like Paul Outwell in the early time of his political career. He makes statement to us that there was a fight against it. Now, me like to ask this question. It's good to get all this sound here going about economic, but we like to know about the environmental impact we solve in that aspect of this development when it if it do come to fruition, and what the level of these impact will face to both of the people of the shores of St. Kitts and the shores of Nevis, where the context of it will be building from. That is my aspect to you. What you put out as a way, as you say, can be 80% to Nevis and 20% to St. Kitts in economical revenue, but we want to know about the environmental impact. Blessed love. Give thanks.
Give thanks, my brother. Well, in every area of construction, especially a large construction, there is a requirement to at all times do what they call the EIA, which is an environmental impact assessment, and this is a requirement by law, which is the Development Control and Planning Act, I think, covers that. So one would expect that will certainly be done. But as we wind down tonight's program in my Straight Dog family, I raised the point, and I want to leave you with this, a particular point, which speaks to our geopolitics and what I call the relationships as it relates to our multilateral and bilateral relations. And as I wrap for tonight, I made the point, and I was somewhat weary that I would not diminish the contribution made by the ROC on Taiwan, the Republic of China on Taiwan. But change, I would hasten to add, is inevitable. It's unavoidable. There's one constant in this world, and that constant is labeled change. And my Straight Talk family, at this time in the 21st century, the only mode of transport to our beautiful islands is by boat. And I believe that we have passed that stage. The Republic of China on Taiwan won't support that. But I submit, as I refer to our geopolitics and the effects of our politics and our international relations, I submit that the entire United Nations General Assembly, UNGA, supports a one China policy. So there's an exercise in futility regarding the ROCTs at UNGA ought to be replaced by digging deeper into multilateralism. Must take a multilateral approach to developing a diplomatic relationship with the Republic of China on Taiwan. And I'm saying that a switch to the People's Republic of China is something we ought to investigate. And I say a switch there would give us a bridge tomorrow. And contrary to what some people may believe, that China does a lot of trading, my straight dog family, lots of trading within the Caribbean region. My straight dog family, lots of trading. And the Canadian or the China trade and investment relationship with the Caribbean is well documented. China invested over $10 billion in mainly 6 Caribbean countries between 2005 and 2022. I stated my straight dog family. And very importantly, though, is that China's influence in the Caribbean, and this is just something I believe we ought to discuss. Because we spoke, for example, about a grant funding or a grant loan from the CDB for geothermal. China is the 3rd largest shareholder at the Caribbean Development Bank, the IDB as well, my straight dog family. And the People's Republic of China's engagement in the Caribbean has largely focused on investments in infrastructure and developing trade relationships. They've had relationships with Cuba, Jamaica, Dominican Republic, Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, Barbados, Grenada, Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana, and Suriname. Mia Mottley, the Prime Minister of Barbados, just got $75 million a grant, US at that. Antigua has a brand new airport. Dominica got their roads. And the list goes on, my straight dog family. The list goes on and on. But as we wind down tonight's discussion, I conclude that there needs to be a constitutional permanence. And that can simply be done by repealing that 113 clause in our Constitution. This bridge will provide a physical permanence between our countries. We talk about one national grid, we talk about. So if we want one national grid and amalgamating Neblek and Skelett, why do we want a 113 clause? Why? The bridge was estimated at US $100 million. It can be constructed within the next 4 years. And the Constitution can be amended immediately. So priority 2 and priority 3. Because within 10 years and more, while we have to wait on geothermal, if it ever comes, we must strive, as I propose, to get back to that marquee port status and move cruise ship passengers from the previous high of 1.3 million to 2 million passengers. That needs a lot of work, Marshall. But selling a destination of 2 for 1 means you get 2 islands at one price. 2 islands, 1 lovely paradise. Means 50% of these arrivals would take the bridge to Nevis. And it will be higher. more than 50%. And you see the cascading effect it would have on the economies of St. Kitts and in particular Nevis, expanding. And this will be a major step, I submit, that is required to develop a sustainable island state, my Stray Dog family. And it really does not take rocket science to understand that the bridge linking St. Kitts and Nevis ought to be our number one priority for this sustainable island state. That's my story tonight, my Stray Dog family, and I am not going to change it. But I'm out of time. My time is done and I got to run. But I want to thank Almighty God for guiding our conversation tonight, as always. I want to thank you, the callers. I want to thank you, the many listeners, to our social media pages, Facebook and YouTube. And I want to thank those who sent emails. And just to assure you that you are the ones who make Straight Talk, and for that reason I say a big, big thank you. Until we connect on Thursday for another edition of Straight Talk, be good to yourselves, my Stray Dog family, and to all whom you meet. And remember that whatever your mind conceive, that you will achieve. But first of all, you gotta believe. So when you wake in the morning, thank God for the morning light and thank Him for taking you through the night. And my Stray Dog family, keep moving on. Bye-bye. Until we connect on Thursday.
In the morning, I thank God for the morning light. Give Him thanks and praises for taking me safely through the night. For the rest of food and loving care, and for my mother's breath of life that's got me here. So whatever my mind conceives, that I will achieve, you better believe, because I do the things I should, be to my brethren kind and good, the best I could. So I'll keep moving on, I won't stop now, I'll keep moving on, till I reach the top somehow, down on my knees. The Lord I kneel and pray, with my heart and soul, beg Him to take me through each day, my guardian to keep, and my guide, over every step I take, He will preside. So whatever my mind conceives, that I will achieve, you better believe, because I do the things I should, be to my brethren kind and good, the best I could. So I'll keep moving on, I won't stop now, I'll keep moving on, till I reach the top somehow. Since God protects me with His love, strong, pure and true, and so sincere, 'cause my knees I'll always stay to the Lord in prayer. So whatever my mind conceive, that I will achieve, you better believe, because I do the things I should, be to my brethren kind and good, the best I could. So I'll keep moving on, I won't stop now, some